from Youngstown, Ohio. So in my city, that's good money. I can live very good
I think a
in
lot
my
of people
city,
can
right?
live comfortably off of
But
that.
I want to leave a legacy, right? So it's not about myself. It's about my name, my last name. So I wanted to make more money so I can make sure they live comfortably when I'm gone, right? So I kept on hitting a ceiling and getting myself a mentor, right? That one little tweak that he gave me that hey Paul, do this instead of doing this. It took my business in 7 weeks to $100,000. So it's very, very important. I tell people all the time it's important to have a mentor because that mentor is your GPS, right? He's going to tell you, hey, go right, don't go left, because if you go left, it's going to set you back 3 months. So when you go right at that stop sign, go straight. Don't go left or go right. It might set you back a year, right? I think in every industry, you should have a mentor because it's going to take you further than doing it by yourself. You can't YouTube it, you can't TikTok it and Instagram it away because it's not going to work. I tried it. That's why I was stuck at where I was at. So that one little nugget he gave me took off, and I never looked back since.
Yeah. Same with me. It was similarities, right, that he had that I seen within myself. But what I got from the mentorship was I was paying more attention. See, a lot of people was paying attention to the funding, the credit repair, and the credit repair softwares and stuff like that. I was looking at how he was running his business. So while people was focused more on how to get access to 100,000, 150,000, I'm looking at like, how did you make 150,000 in a month? I need that. Like the funding is cool, we can get that. But I need that. Whatever team you got, whatever systems you got, whatever automations I need that. So I was paying more attention to that. And once I got in the room and he showed me, that's what took my business to the next level. So what took me 7 years, so I was in business for about 7 years. What took me 7 years to figure out, it only took me 4 months once I got in the room. Right? So once I invested into myself and got me a mentor, it only took me 4 months. Because like he said, it could be it could be a sentence. It could be one little conversation. It could be one little move you have to make on that chessboard, and then now it's game on, right? So that's the same thing with me. I'm a quick learner, and I read between the lines. So I don't have to be always like on the calls and stuff like that, right? But if I'm on that call, I'm gonna get something out of it, and then I'm gonna just put my hoodie on and just go.
How y'all feel about like the scam culture? Like people like quick to call
Everything
mentor
is scam.
scams. How y'all feel about that? Because we talked about that earlier.
So when everything is a scam, everything is that's probably AI, right?
Yeah.
But the see the thing is when you don't see it all the time, right, and you're not around it, it's a scam, right? So in my city, the only thing you're gonna be seeing is you're gonna see Lambos, but you're gonna see it unfortunately in
affluent areas,
in the white areas, right? You're gonna see Lamb trucks, you're gonna see Ferraris in the white areas. So for the inner city, you're not seeing that. Right. You're not seeing it, right? So when you don't see it like that, then you can't really think it's true, right? Unless you driving it, unless you put on the chain. Oh, that's probably fake. Unless you put on the chain, watch is fake. Unless you put it on, right? Now you see it, you feel it. Be like, okay, and it's achievable. So yeah, like everything is fake until you actually do the work. Because when you do the work, that's what I teach. When you do the work, it works. But if you sit around like, this money is gonna come from the sky, God's gonna give it to me. He will give it to you when you put in the work, right? Because it just don't come freely. You just can't go to the money tree and pick it off, right? So, but I don't pay attention to people that come and and talk about scam because it's just the stinking thinking, that poor mentality, right? So, and people always pass over opportunities repeatedly all the time, right? Just like for me, I will never forget when Bitcoin, when somebody introduced me to Bitcoin, I'm like, what is that?
Right.
Nah, bro, I'm good. Like, now look, what kind of scam is that? You know what I mean? Like, this is going
I
to
had my chance.
Right. You saying this is going to go to $1 million? Like, all right, bro, that was so long ago, right? And now look at it now. If you guys probably wouldn't even see me on this podcast
Mm.
if I would have got into Bitcoin
Right.
then and trusted the process, right? But I was like, scam alert, right?
Yeah.
But I never touched it and seen it, so I can believe it, right?
It's kind of funny to see how people call the people who's trying to help them make money scammers.
Right.
But then the people that's working the 9 to 5s or got you working the 9 to 5s and you getting paid $200 a week or $800,
helping someone else make money.
Helping somebody else make money. That's not a scam. And then you go to school and then the professor you learning from don't make the money you dreaming of making, but you look,
and they paying thousands in loans.
Right. So it's like you come out of college 45, 50,000 in debt.
All right, let's go more than that, probably $200,000.
And then guess what? Now you got to come to the people who you calling a scam to get you funding. So it's kind of like weird to me when people kind of like use the word scam, and of course, you know, they're still confused about money, right?
And they want it overnight. If it doesn't happen right away,
exactly. When you work, here's how I put it: when you go to the gym. Right? Do you think you're gonna get results in one day after working out?
No.
Right. So how long do you think you have to train yourself for you to get results?
Yep.
Right. So you played sports before. You've seen it take months, maybe some years. Right. So just like when it comes to credit, you gotta train it. You gotta train yourself. So a lot of people are not training themselves in this topic, so they think it's just fugazi when they run into somebody like us.
Right.
So, yeah.
I ask all my guests this.